New Creature Caster is here.
Spiking bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. Exciting news. Creature Caster has a new miniature. Well, two new miniatures actually for the holidays to have. The Krampus limited edition bust, their very first bust. And of course, the new Lord of Sorrow. So getting away from their King series, going back to the Lord series. And it's got a curious look to it. Now, I left up their website here in the video because I wanted everybody to know that they have actually merged with Monument or Slow Fuse, Monument Hobbies. They're all now under one roof, so they can bring you the dopest hobby products, of course, intermediate to advanced level hobby products, and also some of the dopest miniatures out there. So Creature Caster, I've been smitten with them from the beginning, from their Kickstarter many years ago. After it was fulfilled, went out on my way to get their miniatures and help to show the world these things. I believe a lot in them, and the fact that we actually promote for them now is also very humbling that they chose us to help them promote their products. So it's all rising with the tide for the hobby, and I love to be part of this amazing hobby. Back to the new miniature. We didn't get the Krampus bust because, to be honest, it's a limited edition. It's probably already shipped out to everybody here in December, but we do have this, and it is going to be part of their existing line, which is pretty neat. Now, like I said, it's a Lord miniature. It's not as big as their King series right there, but that's okay. I really like their packaging, mostly because I usually see envelopes to ship out all my Patreon shipments to everyone, but they've really come a long ways in their packaging game as well, from the stuff on their sprues to the actual envelopes and all of the little baggies and accessories is well right there. So we're gonna get all of this laid out for you, but as you can see, this is exactly how you'll receive any shipment from them. All the stuff mostly on sprue in little baggies, and the larger chunks are gonna come protected in a bubble envelope. So here is the fantastic Lord of Sorrows, all laid out, all the different parts, all the different weapon options as well. There's a two-handed axe and also a sword option for this guy. Curiously, I mean, obviously it's a little bit smaller than you can already tell. This is a 60 mil round base right here, and again, very, very cool custom resin base that comes with all of these, which I think is personally a very nice kind of little touch there as far as that goes. He's I guess decently tall once you put it together. I mean, I'm assuming it's about 6 inches, and we're gonna find out as far as that goes. Now, there's kind of some curious design elements here. Obviously, there's two different weapon options. You're gonna have two different head options here, like a kind of like the fly kind of bug eye type deal, and then also you've got this other alternate head here with some horns on it, and I think this mouthpiece actually, I want to say this actually goes up here almost like he's shooting it out and looking to digest something, and then there's segmented arms and some for each section. Now there's 6 different arms, and they slot into this spot right here, which technically classifies this as a hexapod, mostly because hexapods are a subphylum and they are above insects themselves. And of course, this is basically a beetle, for lack of a better term, because you have the wing cases here. If you've ever seen a beetle, it actually hides its wings inside of a wing case, and there's tons and tons of beetles out there. Obviously, they've been big with human history throughout the years, and also harmful in some cases. But I guess what I'm trying to say here, let me read you the definition of a hexapod before we get into actually taking a look at all this. Tyranids, for instance, are a hexapod. So insects are distinguished from other arthropods by their body, which is divided into 3 major regions: the head, which bears the mouth parts, eyes, and a pair of antennae; the 3-segmented thorax, which is the body, which usually has 3 pairs of legs, hence hexapod, in adults, and usually 1 or 2 pairs of wings. So boom, the Lord of Sorrows may actually secretly be a bug, and therefore Creature Caster's first Tyranid model? I don't know, I'm just saying. I've seen crazier things before, but let me tell you what. What a surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So long story short, it's a great sculpt. It's not one of my favorites. Again, I'll tell you straight up when it's not one of my favorites. I'll tell you straight up when I love it and I think it's really cool and I want to paint it up myself. But that being said, we saw it with the last, the Queen of Ecstasy. Gorgeous miniature, probably the best sculpt yet. But man, I tell you what, this probably rivals it just because of all the detail work here. Look at all the detail, the bone, or I guess the exoskeleton, the chitin plate. But then there's all these like crazy little tentacles and stuff going around it too, right? And then you've got the the wing hard case here, which is going to look like a wing, but it isn't. It's actually the hard case for the wings themselves, just like a beetle. And it's very well detailed. It's crazy. And then you've got the two different arms, or the two different weapon arms, which almost look like bone weapons, which we've seen in the Tyranids too. And then the wings are very well detailed, but you can definitely tell they have a bug-like appearance with all the little very intricately spaced little points right there, or spiky bits, so to speak. Could we say spiky? Are we allowed to say spiky bits? Judges. And all the veins and everything running through it. Very well done, very nicely detailed. Incredible stuff. Yeah, I like the face, I like the hands, but more importantly, I want to get this guy put together. But before we do that, let's take a look at what it's supposed to look like on their site and show you how to order this bad boy, because they have a brand new website and, well, I want to show you. So like I said before, Slow Fuse Games Monument Hobbies is now part of Creature Caster, the umbrella, the creative side, bringing you all the great products and brushes and hobby supplies, intermediate to advanced level stuff that we've shown you here on the stream, and we'll continue to show you here in the near future, because I think that stuff's great, and this hobby isn't always about entry level. But they also have all the other normal stuff that we know them for, like the Lord of Star Wars, like the Queen of Ecstasy right here. But better yet, you can select your country's currency and obviously delivery place right here, and they don't stick it to you through any fake arbitrage like another company with their resin miniatures. So let's check out the Lord of Sorrows right here. Once that loads up, you can see they actually have a sale going on. It is the holiday, so there's a little do-it-yourself, make your own, BYOB, whatever you want to call it, bundles. And here you can see the Lord of Sorrows, and you can, obviously just click and enlarge, enhance, and there it is, and you can go through the whole gallery and enhance. But man, let me tell you what, I personally like this pose right here, with all the different arms holding the sword. Oh, I guess it's not. Oh, that goes right there. Oh, that's gross. I had no idea it goes right there. Okay, well, that's going to make assembling it a little bit easier. So there's obviously a mouthpiece right here, because that section was missing from the bits, but you can see the arms are very well detailed. There's the wing case on each side, and then you've got the little beetle wing. That's pretty neat. Close-ups of the base. There's the fly, the Jeff Goldblum kind of look, if you're into that sort of thing. And a couple of different close-ups of the head. There's all the parts laid out. You've already seen that. But they've got all the stuff here. No sense continuing to show it to you, and then a little background on how the demon works. Demon, air quote. Obviously not a Tyranid. There's no way this thing's a Tyranid. Can't say it's a Tyranid. It's not a Tyranid. But maybe it is a Tyranid. I'm just saying, maybe it is. I don't know. And here he is, all assembled up, looking fresh. That custom 60mm base looks really tight, and by the way, they put the stamp on this one too. I think they might have done that on the King series in the Queen, but definitely a new development from Creature Cast, which I think is pretty cool to put their mark on all their miniatures, right? So hey, where'd you get that from? Oh, boom, Creature Caster. Booyah. So here you can definitely see more of the kind of the spooky, kind of buggy kind of vibe here. Now, a couple of caveats. You want to be super careful putting all these arms and things together. They are 3 pieces: the back arm, the lower arm or forearm, and the hand itself. And if you want to add some of those scythes and things to make it even more Tyranidy or even more buggy, that's a completely different set of arms with different posing and stuff. And it takes a hot minute, always, dry fit everything to get all these connections done right here. But man, once you get it together, you can tell the detail, of course, is gorgeous. They've definitely improved their process over their last year or so with all their miniatures. I mean, just everything is super well sculpted. All the bone or the chitin plate detail there, and then we showed you all the stuff on the wing case. and the little buggy wings underneath it right there, and they all work together very well. Of course, you know, you can almost imagine that when these wings are furled up on the back, it's very organic and very, like, there's no question of how this guy works and what he kind of looks like and how he does it. But he's close enough in between almost that you could definitely use this guy as, like, you know, a demon or something on the chaos side, or just paint him up kind of as a one-off. But either way, it's a gorgeous miniature with tons of different uses. Of course, that's, you know, what's so cool about Creature Caster. I think the sword is probably the most dynamic with this pose here, because he's literally like holding it, you know, doing his Commander Riker's Captain Morgan pose, so to speak, like come get some type deal. And then, but you know, if you do the axe, that'd look cool too. And then I don't know, because I haven't seen the pictures of how these pose themselves, but I wanted to go with these arms here, because like I said, when you put these arms on it, it almost kind of adds back that almost little, you know, at some point this was human feel, I feel like. So it's just a really cool dynamic miniature. Like I said, not one of my favorites. You know, I'll call them out when these aren't my favorites. I'll call them out when they are my favorites. But I could definitely see where this will appeal to some folks out there on, you know, if you're using counts as for Warhammer, I could definitely see where, you know, it would kind of lend itself nicely to either a Demon Prince or perhaps a Hive Tyrant or a Swarm Lord or something like that. Now, how does he compare to other miniatures out there in the range? Well, let's find out. We've got a couple of things here. Here he is. We just finished this guy, our Spoilpox Scrivener. So you can kind of see he's on a 40 mil, so you can definitely see how he ranks up to that. And I'm gonna have to go grab some other models for comparison out of the case, because I might have long arms, but they're not that long. So first off, we'll compare him up to a normal Demon Prince from Games Workshop, and there you can see, yeah, same 60 mil base right there, but obviously towers above, stepping dynamically up on that rock right there, which is pretty cool. And let's take a look at maybe something a little bit more comparable. This is a, I guess that's Fatesy. It's got two heads. That's Fate Weaver. Now, Fate Weaver, or the new Lord of Change kit, comes on a rather larger base, but you can see he is definitely head and shoulders, well, I guess at least at least wingspan above the Lord of Sorrows right over there. And last, but, well, no, not last, because we got to show you a Marine. What would a comparison be if you didn't have a Marine? There's the King of War, who is quite ginormous in and of himself, and he is on a much larger base right there. And but either way, looking good. Two very well detailed models from Creature Caster. And then of course just your basic Primaris Marine. There he is. Get him, boys. Chop. Wouldn't last long right there. So that's pretty much it for this one. That's about all we can muster. I mean, we've done the comparisons, we showed you all the pose, we gave you some verbiage from the wikis, which can't be wrong, and if it's wrong, I'll go change it right now, about hexapods and all sorts of insectoid things right there. Kingdom, phylum, having flashbacks to high school. All right, let's stop it. Let's go here. So that's it for this one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's that easy. Just hit subscribe to be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.
Spiking bits.